Yo, what's up everybody? Welcome back to the episode of Into the Flu. In today's episode, I'm gonna build a couple decks. So I'm going to not show all of my storage of my cards because I've just got, like a box with the different cards from different sets, and it's kind of big, and so that can sort of be funky to record. And then I have these huge binders, which I will show you. Which is kind of where I go to build my decks with ease because I've divided them by lesson type. And so anyway, I'll show you that so that you can kind of see the way that I do things so that when I build decks in the future, I'll just sort of start the video building the deck and you can kind of go along with me if you would like. And then we can sort of see what our first hand might look like on average. So anyway, let's get into doing that. And this deck is going to be from the Pojo website that if you've been following along, there's been a couple videos of that website and me just kind of looking at some of the decks and building them from there. So I've taken the list of the cards, built it according to the edits that have been made, and then moving on from there. So let's dive into it. All right, everybody, if you saw the previous video where I went over the Pojo website, we kind of did like a walkthrough, and then I found two separate decks that I wanted to build. So what I did was made that list, and now I'm going to build them. So this here is a huge binder. I know you probably can't get like a good perspective of it, but this is, I mean, maybe you can. This is like a huge D-ring here. It's like that big. And I have basically, this is how I've organized my spare cards in a way that allows me to build decks easily. So these first few pages are all Quidditch, and it's all common and uncommon in these binders. I have a separate binder where I have all rare cards. Okay, so I've got the two decks right here. If you are not familiar with where I got these decks, then just go back to the Pojo website. I found the first one on the left, which was a common deck. All the cards are common, which is really cool, kind of unique, I thought. And then the one on the right is another deck that I found that was edited actually by one of the people who ran the Pojo website, which was something that they used to do. So anyway, you can look back and find that. So for the first deck, we've got quite a few creatures. We've got the Giant Tarantula, Pet Rat, Curious Raven, Forest Troll, Surly Hound, Boa Constrictor, and Scottish Stag. So what I'm going to do is just kind of flip through. Okay, now we are at Care Magical Creatures. So I'm just going to flip through. Boa Constrictor is on our list. We need two of them, so I'll grab two. Two Boa. I'm just going to set them aside over here. All right. Scottish Stag, we need two. So I will grab two. Curious Raven, we need four. Okay, four. Surly Hound, we need two. Now usually, so like with the Curious Raven, I left some of those empty. I'll probably go back and fill those back in with some spare cards that I have. That's just sort of how I organize it. I have like a whole other box that has many other cards, any spares that I have. So I'll just go back through and add those if I can. All right, so we've got Forest Troll next. We need four of those. So let's see. Four. We also need four Pet Rat. Four of those. And For the last of the creatures, we need 2 giant tarantula. All right, so as I mentioned, these huge binders here house all of the common and uncommon spare cards that I have, so it's just easy for me to flip through and build a deck that way. But now the deck list is asking for 2 Norbert and 2 Mrs. Norris, which are rare cards. So I have a separate binder for my extra rare, non-hollow, non-foils. And so this one I just have a spare booster pack from base set that's taped on here, which tells me that it's all from base set. So what I'll do is open this up and I'll flip over to Norbert. I'll take 2. And then we'll flip to Mrs. Norris and I'll take 2. It's asking for 2 each. So there's that. I just wanted to give you an idea of how I house my cards. So what I'll do is finish building both of these decks and then we'll get into some gameplay. So for those who are following along, these are 2 decks that I found on the Pojo website. One of them is an all commons deck and the other is a charming creatures deck. They're both actually charms and creatures, but one of them only uses common cards and the other one doesn't. So I haven't played with either of these. So I got my buddy Adela right here. She's gonna play one of them, and then we'll kind of, you know, switch it up and do a few games and see how they fare against each other. So we've got Flitwick as a starting character for deck 1, and Draco Malfoy as a starting character for deck 2. You want to go first?
Sure. I will draw. And then I will play 2 lessons.
All right. I'll draw. And I will play 2 lessons.
I will draw. And then I will play 1 lesson. And then play Cauldron Deceive. Choose one of your...
Oh, potions. Yeah, you can take that back.
And then I will play another lesson instead.
Okay. Draw to start. First action, I'll play a lesson. Second action. I'll draw.
I will draw. Then I'll play 2 lessons.
All right. Draw to start. First action, I'll play a lesson. Second, I'll play a boa constrictor. Over to you.
I will draw. And then I will draw. And then I will play a lesson.
Okay. Draw to start.
I take 2 damage.
Yeah, you take 2. First action, I'll play a lesson. Second action, I will play a forest troll, discarding one of my magical creatures. Over to you.
I will draw. And then I'll play a pet rat, discard 1. And then I will play Steel Claw. All your creatures do damage, so it's 1.
All right. 1 damage.
Your turn.
I'll draw to start. You take 4.
Okay. First action, I will play a lesson. Second action, I'll play a toe biter, do 2 damage to your opponent. You may also choose a creature and do 2 damage to it. So I'll do 2 damage to the pet rat, and I'll grab some counters. If you want, you can put that. All right, over to you, and I take
will
one.
draw. I'll play Magical Mishap, do 3 damage to your opponent.
All right, 1, 2, 3.
Then I'll play a lesson.
Okay, I'll draw to start. Take 4. First action, I'll play a Stream of Flames, do 3 damage to your opponent. You may also choose a creature in play and do 3 damage to it. So 3 to you and the pet rat by. And then I will play a lesson.
Okay. I'll draw. Play a pet rat. And then play Steel Claw. All your creatures do damage.
Alright, I'll do 1 damage. I will draw to start. First action, I'll play a Vicious Wolf. And second action, I'll play a Mysterious Egg. Search your deck. You may take a creature card from your deck, show it to your opponent, and put it into your hand, then shuffle. Maybe. All right, I will take a Boa Constrictor, and then I will shuffle. Okay, and I think that was both my actions.
I will draw.
I'll take a lesson or a damage.
And then I'll use Flitwick to trade 2 cards.
Mm-hmm.
And for 1 card in your discard that needs.
Yeah, so it says once per game, you may trade 2 cards in your hand for 1 card in your discard pile that needs Charms power.
Okay. And then I will play Toe Biter, do 2 damage to your opponent. And you also may choose a creature and do 2 damage to it.
Okay. Nice, all lessons.
Is it Forest Troll that needs?
Yeah, so Forest Troll has 3 health, Vicious Wolf has 3 health, Boa Constrictor
Boa.
has 2 health. Okay. My turn? You have another action, I think, right?
And then I'll do all your creatures do damage.
Nice, so 1, right?
Yeah.
Cool. Alright, I'll draw to start. You take 5. First action, I'll play a lesson. Second action, I'll play a boa. Over to you.
I'll draw. And I'll play Magical Mishap, do 3 damage.
Alright. 1. I just discarded that. 2, 3. Is that it?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you ship it
Yeah,
out?
yeah, because I draw and then
Oh, I'll draw to start. You take 2, 4, 7. First action, I'll play Magical Mishap and do 3 damage to you. Second action, I'll actually use my Draco, which says during your turn you may use an action and discard a card from your hand to look at your opponent's hand. You may then choose 1 card in their hand and discard it. Okay, so that's that, and I'll discard. Oh, I'm sorry, I meant to. Well, I showed it, no big deal. I'll discard that. Over to you.
I'll draw. And then I will draw. I'll do Magical Mishap, do 3 damage.
Nice.
Your turn.
Alright, I'll draw to start.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Yeah.
I get 1.
Oh, okay. Alright, so that deck I know is a tricolor, which is kind of interesting, but it seems like there's a lot of, like, did it seem like there was like a lot of lessons and like not so much
Yeah, I mean all the creatures were like too low, but I kept getting discarded.
Okay. Do you want to switch decks and see like how it plays, or do you want to do a couple more games with just
We'll try it again.
have it like this? Okay. And then when we do switch decks, you know, I can play with the red one and you can play with the white one. Yeah, so for these, like, I got these deck lists 100% from Pojo in their deck garage, and one of them was built by someone and then like edited by Snuffles, I think. So it's like they'll send in a list and be like, hey, what do you think I can do about this deck? And then they'll be like, change this, this, and this. So it was built like according to how the Snuffles person thought it would be better, you know. Which I think is that one that you're playing, and this one was just like a deck that, you know, someone else had, so. Okay.
You go first.
Okay. All right. First, I'll draw to start. First action, I'll play a lesson. Second action, a lesson. Over to you.
I'll draw. Then I'll play a lesson and another lesson.
Okay. Draw to start. I will play 1 lesson and another. Over to you.
I'll draw. Then I'll play a lesson. And then I'll play another lesson.
Nice. Draw to start. I'm getting lucky, I guess, with lessons.
I'll draw. Play 2 lessons.
Nice, we're both getting lucky. Draw to start. Let's see. I will play you know, I've actually never played with Mrs. Norris, so I'll just play that. It says your opponent plays with his or her hand face up.
Oh.
Yeah, so that means that we all got to see your goods. And there's no damage, it's just health, and it's only 1 health, I guess, which is a good thing, because if you're like, I don't want to do this anymore, you just get rid of it if you have the ability. So that was my first action. That was my first, right?
Yeah.
And then my second, I'll just play another lesson. So
I'll draw. Then I'll play Curious Raven.
okay.
And then I'll do Toe Biter, 2 damage, and then 2 damage to a creature.
Nice. Sorry, Mrs. Norris. Alright. Alright, so I'll draw to start. First action, I'll play Toe Biter, 2 damage to you and 2 to your creature. And second action, let's see. I'll play a Dragon Heart Wand, which says, play this card only if you have cards in play that provide at least 2 charms power. If you play this card and you already have a wand in play, discard the old one.
Okay.
Alright, so now it's over to you.
I will draw. Then I will draw. And then I will draw.
Okay. Alright, I'll draw to start. I will play 4 Privet Drive. Your opponent can't play spell cards, is the effect. To solve, your opponent chooses 6 cards in his or her hand and discards them. And then the reward is you may draw a card.
Okay.
Wah, wah, wah.
I will draw. I will discard. I'll play Forest Troll. And then I will draw. Okay.
Okay. I'll draw to start. I will play a Mysterious Egg. Search your deck. You may take a creature card from your deck, show it to your opponent, and put it into your hand, then shuffle. I will choose a Vicious Wolf, and I'll shuffle these up. I think, was that my first action?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Alright. So I'll play the Vicious Wolf.
Okay.
I'll put that down there actually.
I will draw, and then I'll solve that.
Okay.
So one,
Oh, and I take 2 damage?
Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yeah, 6 cards in your hand and discard them, and you may draw a card.
Okay. And then I will do 2 damage to your opponent, and then you also may choose a creature, do 2 damage to it.
2 damage to it?
Yeah, and then I'll do another one.
Okay, nice.
Yeah. 2 more
And
damage.
so it's
So total of 3 damage.
nice.
And 2 creature choice, then draw a card.
Okay, perfect. Alright, I will draw to start. I will play a Mysterious Egg. And do the same thing. I will take a Norbert this time, shuffle these up.
Okay.
Oh, this was discarded because I played that. I'll play the Norbert and discard 2 Care Magical Creatures. Over to you, and I take 2 damage.
I will draw. And then I will, once per game, trade 2.
Mm-hmm.
And choose one for my discard. Okay, and then I will play. Do 2 damage to you, your opponent, and then creature.
2 damage to the creature as well?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'll play a lesson.
So I will do this. 2 damage to Norbert Warbert. Draw to start, you take 5. And then I'll play a Magical Mishap for my first action and do 3. And second action, I'll play a lesson. Over to you.
I will draw. And then draw. Then I'll discard one. And then play Forceful.
Nice. Alright, I will draw to start. You take 5. First action, I'll play a Magical Mishap and do 3. Second action, I will discard a card in my hand to look at your hand and discard that. Okay. Over to you.
I will draw.
I'll take 4.
Draw. And then I'll play Magical Mishap, do 3 damage to your opponent.
1, 2, 3. Okay.
I'm gonna edge you.
Oh, I'll draw to start. First action, I'll draw. Second action, I will play a Boa Constrictor. Over to you, and I will take
Draw.
4.
I will draw. Play Curious Raven.
Nice. Okay, I'll draw to start. You take 7.
5, 6, 7.
And then first action, I'll play a Toe Biter, do 2 damage to you. And then how much health does the Forest Troll have again?
3.
3. So I'll get rid of the Curious Raven because I could also
Okay.
do 2 damage to that. And you took the 2, right?
Mhm.
Alright, that was first. Second action, I will just play that.
I will draw. I need 1.
And I take 4.
I need 1. I don't have anything else.
Okay. Alright, well, so far, I think this is the common and uncommon deck. There's no rare cards in here. Oh, no. Oh, yeah, well, that's right, with the exception of the characters.
Is Norbert a rare?
Yeah, it is. So then that one must be the common and uncommon, and this might be the... oh, yeah, this is the Charming Creatures, because this has Transfiguration. So the white is the Charming Creatures, and that is the... Common Knowledge is what it was called. So the Charming Creature seems to be in the lead. Or, yeah. You can go first if you'd like.
I will draw. I will play Wizard Crackers. Reveal the top of your card of your deck if it isn't a lesson card. If it's a lesson card, put into play. If it isn't, put the card back in or put it into your hand. So lesson.
Nice.
And then I will play another lesson.
Nice. Draw to start. I will play 4 Privet Drive. Over to you.
I'll draw. I will play Sturdy Hound. Then I will play a lesson.
Okay. Draw to start. First action, I'll play a lesson. Second, I will draw.
I will draw.
I'll take 1.
I'll play a lesson. and then I'll draw.
Okay. Draw to start. First action, draw. Second action, draw. I'll take
Draw.
one.
Play Curious Raven.
Nice. Am I giving you enough space?
And then if I discard, oh, actually, I'll draw. Good, your turn.
Good. Draw to start. First action, I'll play a lesson. Second action, I'll draw.
I will draw. And then I'll solve the
Adventure?
yeah.
So discard 6 and then you may draw a card.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh. Draw. Reveal the top of your deck. If it's a lesson card, put it into play. If it's not, put it into your hand. Not. And then I'll play this giant tarantula. Discard 2, 3, 4.
Nice. Alright, I will draw to start. First action, I'll play a lesson. Second action, I'll play a toe biter, do 2 damage to you, and then 2 damage to a creature. What are the health of those? So the giant tarantula then. And then your turn, I'll take 2.
Draw. I'll play boa constrictor.
Nice.
So 2. And then I will draw.
Okay. Draw to start. I'll play, oh, actually, no. No, I won't. I'll play Magical Mishap, do 3 damage to you. That's first action. The second action. Second action, I'll play a lesson. Is that 4?
Yeah. Draw.
Oh my god. Nice.
And then I'll play Curious Raven.
Nice. Now we're getting somewhere.
Then I will draw.
I think, yep.
Yeah.
Alright, I'll draw to start. Alright, I will play Mysterious Egg. Go into my deck, find a creature, which will be the Boa Constrictor. And I'll shuffle this bad boy up. And then my second action, I'll play the Boa Constrictor. Over to you. What is that? 6 or 5?
2, 3, 4, 5.
5. 1, 2,
draw.
3, 4, 5.
I will play Scottish Stag.
Nice.
So 1 damage. And then I will play Toe Biter. Do 2 damage to your opponent and then 2 to the creature.
Oh, nice. Okay. Draw to start. Let's see. First action. I will play Vermilius. I'll do 3 damage to the Boa. And then I will play Magical Mishap and do 3 damage to you. Okay, over to you. Is that 4 now?
Yeah. I'll draw. I'll do the 2
Yeah.
fade.
Mm.
And then I will play Magical Mishap, do 3 damage.
Okay, 1, 2, 3.
And then I'll play Steel Claw.
Nice. Was that 4?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Draw to start. First action, I'll play a Toe Biter, do 2 damage to you, and then what's the health of that one's 5, but the others are they 1?
Yeah.
And they're all
3.
I'll
So
do a Curious Raven then. And then I will do I'll play Vermilius and do 3 damage to was the Surly Hound I think had what was that 3? Yeah. I'll do 3 damage to that. Okay, over to you.
I'll draw.
I'll take 2.
And then I will draw. And I'll play play reveal the top of your deck. If it's a lesson, put it into play. If not, put it into your hand.
Okay. Draw to start. First action, I'll play a lesson. Second action, I will play a Dragon Heart Wand. Over to you, and I'll take.
I'll draw.
2.
I'll play a Boa Constrictor. And then discard 1 from play. Play Pet Rat.
Mm-hmm.
So 2, 3, 4, 5. Your turn.
Alright, I'll draw to start. I'll play 2 Guard Dogs. And it's over to you. So you said 5, right?
Draw.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nice.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. I knew that deck had to have something in it. Nice. Alright, sweet. So it was Common Knowledge. Wait, no, Charming Creatures is this one that had the 2 wins, but I feel like if we just kind of got more comfortable with that deck, it'd be really sort of more neck and neck. Yeah, because anyway, good job, Pojo.